Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for attending tonight's Bear Board of Education March 1st meeting. We're going to start out tonight with our invocation and pledge. Mr. Payne. And
you stand. Father, thank you. Thank you for the many blessings among us here in this room tonight. Many blessings in our community and many blessings in our country. Lord, be with us this evening and always as we do this work to educate and care for our future, our children. And we just ask that you grant us the grace and the wisdom to do our very best. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Colors, attention. Carry, colors. Forward, march. Forward, march. Mark time, march. Colors, hold. Pose, the colors. Present, arms.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Mark time, march. Forward, march. Mark time, march. Colors, hold.
Good evening. I'm Cadet First Sergeant Dylan Peppers at Waterbury High School.
Good evening. I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant Emmanuel Gutierrez from Waterbury High School.
Good evening. I'm Cadet Private First Class Matthew Elias from Waterbury High School.
Good evening. I'm Cadet Private Landon Martin at Waterbury High School.
Mark time, march. Forward, march.
Thank you so much, cadets. Thank you.
all righty. First off, we need a motion to approve the minutes from February 1st board meeting.
Second.
Ms. Bramlett, Ms. Kelly, Ms. Stevens, second. All in favor? Okay. Our called meeting minutes tonight, motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. Roper. All in favor? And a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Kelly, Ms. Stevens, all in favor? We're going to have a clean school committee report tonight from Mr. Bailey.
Yes. It's been a long time since I've got to do this. I know this is our second one since the C word hit us.
Should have been a four-letter word.
Yes, and Ms. Bramlett and Mr. King, myself, with Joe and some of our staff, got to go out. We did things a little bit different. We were in the middle of the day. We left here about 11 o'clock, and so we got to see the school. I don't say that it's worse, but probably it's most challenging. And I hate to say I was surprised, but I was surprised. They were in very good shape. We talked, we discussed, we debated. And as board members sometimes do, we finally came up with two winners instead of one.
It wasn't our fault. We had time.
Yeah. And we tried to break it, tried to do it. But Winder Elementary and Bear Arts and Science Academy are winners. Great job.
make a decision. Come on. All right. Dr. Michael, I believe you have a recognition tonight?
Yes, sir, we do. I'd like to call, we have their Georgia STEM Scholar Awards, and I'd like to call Will Dodd with ISTIC, which is the Georgia Youth Science and Technology Center. Almost got through it to do the presentation. So two very deserving folks.
All right. Good evening. As was stated, my name is William Dodd. I'm the regional coordinator at Oconee River Georgia Youth Science and Technology Centers, which is a mouthful. GYSTC for short. I'm part of a statewide organization whose main mission is to empower students for STEM careers. And each year, our organization chooses teachers from across the state that exemplify that mission, empowering students for STEM careers in their classroom every day. So as part of that award, those teachers receive a $500 check to sponsor a STEM project that they have going on in their classrooms. And Barrow County School Systems not only had one teacher named to the STEM Scholar Award for 2021, but two teachers. So congratulations to Barrow County School Systems. And oddly enough, both of these teachers are currently employed at Barrow Arts and Science Academy. So I think that speaks volumes to the program that you all have there. So definitely something to celebrate. And the two teachers that we want to recognize, do you guys want to come on up? You can come on up. So I hope you will join me in congratulating, we'll go ABC order if that's okay. Congratulating Ashley Bailey for being named one of the 2021 GYSTC STEM Scholar Award winners. So congratulations. So congratulations, Ashley, well deserved. And please, once again, join me in congratulating Gretchen Hollingsworth as being one of the 2021 GYSTC STEM Scholar Award winners. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gretchen, Ashley, congratulations on behalf of the board. Great job. We appreciate it. Okay, I don't think we have any visitors to note, but we do have a request to appear tonight before the board. Mr. Jim Joyner, please step up to the podium. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'll be brief because I only have 3 minutes. So I'm here because there's what I see is a problem that has manifested itself and with one of my students. So that'd be one of my children, which I won't go into. But as I reviewed what happened to her and the different things, I wondered how many more children might be this be happening to and what the results might be in their personal lives. So what this is about is a process reported student behavior incidents. So you may have a child in the school system that they're experiencing bullying, somebody wants to fight them or something. Who do these students report the incidents to? Okay, that's really important. Who do they report it to? Some students will go to their parents and the parents will call into a teacher or counselor. But who should the parents call? And it sounds like a redundant question, but really who should you call? Should the student go to the teacher? Should the student go to the counselor? Number 4 is really concerning. Student hides it due to shame. Somebody took them, whipped them in the restroom. Somebody did something. Another student might have seen it or something. I'm just giving examples. How about the person who saw it? So we move on to point 3 is the process proactive? And that's really where I want to get to. Proactive and also the culture in the school. If a counselor was informed, what is their duty? Do they have a duty? If a teacher learns of a student being hit by another student, but didn't see it, but heard it, what is their duty? Should they report it? Should they call out a class? Should they reach out to somebody? Because there has been somebody struck in the school system. Or I'm busy in my class, okay? So these are questions that really need some answers. And if a bystander sees the incident, what is their duty? And this is janitors, workers, students. In the hallway, the students, a lot of times we'll see another student hit somebody or do something. And it just, the person who's getting hit is shameful or scared. And so they don't seek resolution. They don't tell a parent, a teacher, a counselor, anybody. So I want to talk about the culture a little bit. So number 4, timeline. Bullying, harassment, fighting, and threats. One, are they getting reported? Are people seeing it and doing things? The next thing is, what's the priority if it's been reported to a counselor? My child, this happened to my child, you tell a counselor and then nothing happens. Why didn't something happen? I'm just giving examples. Why didn't something happen? So there needs to be, look at the process to see, who's being told what, and then what's the chain of command to get this up onto a action item. Like, okay, we're getting a lot of excessive bullying or pushing or hitting between these students is getting reported, or they hear about it. It needs to be a path up to proactiveness, because if we don't take proactiveness, something's going to happen, unfortunately. The final thing is the feedback to the parents. Let the victim parents know that it's being investigated. And then the final point is number 6. Talk about punishment for failure to take action. I'm not here to see anybody or hear anybody or talk about anybody about, there's enough rules and regulations. I'm talking about our counselors and teachers. Would not want to see anybody punished because of all the stress and the things. Maybe it was an accident. They forgot or whatever happened. So the focus is on a culture of care, a proactive culture of care in Barrow County school system. Positive rewards for counselor, teacher, bystander who stepped up. If a student wants to be anonymous and come and tell somebody, hey, I saw somebody hit somebody and that kid's too scared to tell, have some positive rewards. And if you make a proactive culture of care and have the friends, everybody become like friends of teachers and counselors and stuff, you'll have a caring group of people that people will feel safe and reach out. And especially, I've got in here a report which I can just tender to you all, but when it doesn't get answered and it doesn't get answered and it keeps on, you get suicide. Not all the time, but you get suicide and that. So I thank you for your time. I know it went over, but I don't know. Can I turn this to somebody?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Joyner. Points well taken.
Sir, for
Thank you,
coming out.
sir. Thank you for being here.
Okay. Move on to the superintendent reports. Dr. Green.
Yes, I just want to call your attention to the fact we did our 120th day student enrollment count on Wednesday. And so I have posted that now under the supporting documents for the support services.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Houston.
All right, good evening. Tonight, we'll go over our SPLOST revenues for the month of February. We received $1,409,246.28. That was 17% up from the same period in 2021, 41% up from the same period in 2020, and 58% more than the time period in 2019, and so on and so forth. There's the graph for you to look at. Then for our general fund, the board summary, our total fund balance as of February 28th was 58,455,241. Our total revenues year to date were 105.5 million. Our total expenditures year to date, 92.7 million. Our total revenues for the month of February, 9.1 million, and our total expenditures, 11.3 million. And so we're at 67% of the year. And as always, we like to see the green above it and the red below it, and we're there this time too. Next report is more detail. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. Then we'll get into our special revenue fund. This fund for the year to date, their revenues was 22.2 million. Our expenditures were 20 million, so $2 million net income in this fund. Our next fund is the enterprise fund, 192.7 million in revenues, 226,000 in expenditures, so a net loss of 34 million, but that will even out over time. Our capital projects fund, $21 million revenue and $20.5 million in expenditures. And then our debt service fund, $9.5 million in revenue and $7.5 million in expenditures. This next report is just kind of doing a summary of our CARES funds. So we'll go through these just real quick. Our CARES 1 funds, we received different buckets of money that has to go specifically to different uses of funds. So we had some CTAE funds up at the top, and we use everything that we can use. And then we had some extended year for agriculture. We had some special ed supplements. We had some CARES Act for equitable services. That's for our private schools. And then we had CARES for our school nurse. And you can see how we spent those funds. Our CARES 2 came in. Our CARES 2, we received a total of $10.8 million, and we've used $7.5 million. So far, we still have time to use those. So those are each, there was 3 different CARES 2 funds, one for child care and developmental block grant, one for our bonuses that the governor gave us, governor retention bonus. And then the second one was the $8.8 million that we used for nursing supplies, the retention bonus, janitorial labor and supplies, technology needs for COVID, Arts Now, early adopters of the Microsoft Chromebooks for the classrooms, laptops, and stipends for the contract tracers. Then the last page is our CARES 3 funds. So we got 5 buckets of money for this. One was for emergency connectivity fund. The next is support our homeless students. The next 2 are to support our students with disabilities. And then the last one is that big amount of money that we got, the $19.9 million. And you can see all the different initiatives that we have for the use of funds for that. And we have until September 2024 to use these funds up.
Again, just for people who are asking questions, CARES funds have to be spent directly in correlation with things that were issues related to the situations we faced due to COVID.
Sure. Yes, definitely. There is a little caveat on there to continue operations. So the state deducted some money from our QBE, so we're allowed to cover some of that with the CARES funds too, to continue our operations.
Right. Well, we're going to continue to see some struggles for a while because of COVID, because it's like a mark, so that makes sense.
All right, if y'all have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Moulton? Nothing, okay. Ms. Beggs? Nothing right now, okay. Move on to new business. First of all, this will be tabled for public review, but the superintendent recommends placing the proposal made by the Wyandotte High School governance team, naming the baseball field at the Chimneys Athletic Complex after longtime supporter and donor, Mr. Kevin Black. So this will be on the table for public review until the next regularly scheduled meeting. Moving on to the consent agenda. The superintendent recommends awarding the purchase of paper cut print management software to low bid respondent SOS of Athens, Georgia, in the amount of $31,932, and additional card reader hardware and installation services to sole source provider SOS of Athens, Georgia, in the amount of $23,887 for a total of $55,819. Next, the superintendent recommends awarding the contract for Microsoft EES licensing to low bid respondent Crayon Software Experts of Dallas, Texas, in the amount of $181,426.67 per year, renewable yearly for a maximum term of 5 years. The superintendent recommends authorizing the purchase of 15 Dell servers from low bid respondent Dell of Round Rock, Texas, in the amount of $77,225. Superintendent recommends that Barrow County School System purchase 100 iPads and 100 iPad protective covers to support instruction of specialized student populations at each school. Cost is $34,913 to be paid out of IDEA American Recovery Federal Funds. The superintendent recommends awarding the development of the next version of the district's dashboard to Custom Tech Software in the amount of $75,140 for year one development, licensing and hosting costs, and $68,240 in recurring year two and beyond hosting, licensing, and support costs. Next, the superintendent recommends approval of Cunningham, Forehand, Matthews, and Moore Inc. for architectural services for a new fine arts facility at the Innovation Campus. Barrow County superintendent recommends allowing Barrow County Schools Business Services to receive funds from the Barrow County Community Foundation for capital improvements to CFIT buildings and grounds. Barrow County Schools will then issue purchase orders and make payment to architects, engineers, contractors, and other vendors as necessary to complete the improvement work. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Just a quick comment, now that y'all voted on that. Going back to number 6, the recommendation for the facility at the Innovation Campus. I think you all have received a few missives, emails, types of things here. I know I have about athletics out at BASA. I just wanted to, there is definitely a plan for those fields and those type of things in our overall plan. I just don't want people to think that this is superseding any of that. This is just part of the plan. First, we have to get enough roof space over our kids out there. And also, again, the actual theater part of that is for all the high schools. It's not just for that. So just want to kind of underscore that moving forward. And I think we have some folks that are a little confused out there that we don't have those things in the plans, but those things take time, unfortunately. We'd love to be able to put $60 million and drop it all at once and build an entire high school at once, but we've not been able to do that with BASA. We have to do the stages. I believe, Joe, you remember when we opened Appalachia a little bit before my time, but it was several years before they had a field. So it takes a while, and Wyandotte actually never got one. The community got together and built that really nice complex for baseball and softball out there. So just wanted, in case there was any confusion about that, just wanted to kind of set that straight. Seems like a good point to do that.
Now, does that include the weight room? That's what I
Yes,
thought.
that's all in the plans. as we move
Because that
forward.
was my concern.
Phase 2 starts up and will be.
And what
open
time
by-
frame are we looking at?
Yeah,
And
we're
weight?
with 20.
That's where you open in the fall of 2024. Included in that portion of the building.
Because that was my concern when I
If
saw the
anyone
weight
has
room.
any
was-
questions, they're welcome. Of course, really need to start with the school governance team and Dr. Simpson, but they're welcome to call myself or Joe or Dr. Darby up here, and they can definitely explain those things.
The grading piece is for the athletic facilities
Part either way.
Part of the early release rating package for that complex.
Was that taken out of the first, when we decided what, once the surveys were done with the parents and they decided what sports, was that weight
surveys-
taken out of there, out of the first phase?
No, the surveys were just a general interest survey. Joe and I both have children out there. We took the same surveys. They were a general interest surveys, not a vote for here's what we're going to have.
Right. But once y'all decided baseball or some of those sports, was there not a weight room included in that first phase?
That didn't happen until after first phase one was over, correct?
Was it?
Yeah.
Because that's my
So that
concern.
had
If you
been-
want to
That
be
was 4 years prior.
competitive, you need to have a weight room for those kids to get stronger and not get hurt.
Well,
was my
I will also
concern.
say it's a school of choice. And if someone, that was kind of the whole point behind the school is, we make choices if we want to go there.
Is there a way, but we were also told, is there a way for them to use the weight rooms at the other high schools? Because we were
That would
told,
be a question for the athletic directors and the high schools. Now, we did meet with GHSA before we opened the building. And actually had hoped maybe they could play the sports at the high school, but that wasn't allowed.
because I know when we opened Appalachian, when they didn't have everything, that was one of the things we were allowing them to use some of the facilities until we could bring them up.
Yeah,
to
there's
par.
definitely something. Dale, Dr. Simpson can look into with the other schools.
I
Anyway.
believe some of the parents do have contacted the athletic director, from what I understand, and they weren't getting much response
At the,
at Bassett.
okay, well, that's
Mhm.
something we can definitely. take
They
a
weren't
look at.
getting any answers. They were just getting, basically, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And I guess that they weren't
Sure,
satisfied with
that's
that.
the reason I wanted to clarify that.
That was the answer I was giving them too. It's coming, it's coming.
No,
They
we
weren't
still need-
satisfied with my answer either.
Unfortunately, we can't just drop things in.
I have a
Like Plain
couple of-
Sim City.
I have a couple of questions. Does everybody on board know what BASA stands for? Arts and science, not athletics. And originally this was done as a school of choice and we weren't going to offer athletics. We're trying to get the school built and developed with limited resources because, the state is 2 years behind in our funding in the first place. In the second place, it is a school of choice. So any parent who didn't understand that, and I think we made that perfectly clear at the beginning, knew that and knew that this was going to be new and different and everything that was offered at other schools wouldn't be necessary.
That's
I
actually completely
remember-
untrue. The principal went to every school and told all the children that sports would be available there for them.
Some sports,
Some
some sports. He
Right.
didn't mention a weight room to my knowledge. And I will say this, when we built Appalachia High School, we did not have a weight room because we didn't have the money for it. Okay. And so
But the children were able
Students.
to go to other schools and use the weight rooms.
that's true. And maybe we can work out something in the meantime.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is, we need to keep in mind that this school is a school of choice. We can't do everything all at one time. Lord knows, I wish we could. And if anybody out there can come up with some money trees that we can plant, I will pay for the planting. But we need to work together and we need to use our school governance teams to talk with parents and work with the school system and see what we can do as money is available. It's all a matter of funding. And I really think we need to keep that in mind. And I know that parents are concerned. I would love to have that building, just the whole campus just built out right now.
I agree, but I don't think the attitude of this is a school of choice, and if you don't want your kid to go there, you can pull them out, is a very good attitude. 'Cause
I'm
we
not
do
saying
not
that.
want a good-
I'm not
we don't
saying
want a
that.
mass exodus. No, but your attitude does.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way,
So we don't
Stephanie, but
want
I
that-
would
we don't want that
appreciate.
mass exodus over there for that. We want to give the children what we have, told them that we're going to give them.
All right. I think we can take this offline and have this
We will
discussion. I think
discuss
Dr.
this
McMichael has kind of clarified where we stand in terms of 2024.
Bill, we do need to vote on the item F, though we have not voted on it. Delayed on the table for 30 days. We need to vote on that.
Yes, going back to new business. Can we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Apologize, I didn't mean to get us off track there either.
Yeah, we have gotten some emails, so I think it's good that we addressed it. We also need a motion to approve authorization for committees to meet.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. This time then, we're going to move into executive session. We're going to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee, or to interview applicants for the position of superintendent. We'll also discuss or vote to authorize negotiations to purchase, dispose of, or lease property, authorize ordering an appraisal related to the acquisition or disposal of real estate, enter a contract to purchase, dispose of, or lease property subject to approval and a subsequent public vote, or enter into an option to purchase, dispose of, or lease real estate subject to approval and a subsequent public vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, we're going to take a break.